In this video, I'm going to analyze the Otto Place EC from the location, amenities, potential resale value, and many more. We are also going to discuss the pros and cons and whether this project is worth applying. If you missed the previous Novo Place launch, then this is your chance for redemption. The Otto Place is a new EC located at Plantation Close in Tengah, literally next to the Novo Place EC. With 560 units available, the Otto Place is suitable for people who want a peaceful home that is still well connected to the rest of the city. Let's talk about the location first. In terms of location, the Otto Place will be within walking distance to Tengah Park MRT station, which is set to be open in 2028. At the same time, Otto Place itself is targeted to be finished by 2030, so that means the MRT should be ready when you move in. It is also near the Jurong Lake District, which is the biggest business district outside the city center. Tengah itself is designed to be a smart and green town with lots of eco-friendly features and modern technology, making it a good choice for anyone who wants a home that is ready for the future. It is also good to know a bit about Tengah's town plan. For this project, the Plantation Way area will have a big communal garden and the neighborhood center will be there too. In the future, this area should become a lively hub with the MRT and lots of local amenities nearby. But until everything is built, you'll probably need to go to other towns for most things. Speaking of amenities, there's no way to escape reality. Tengah is still a very new area, and right now, there aren't many shops or things to do nearby. You would have to travel to other towns for shopping and entertainment, and this could be the case for quite a few years. The marketing talks a lot about how close it is to Jurong Lake District and Jurong East, which makes sense because Jurong East already has a lot of shopping centers like IMM or GEM. Choa Chu Kang itself isn't really mentioned as a neighbor, probably because it's not as fancy as Jurong. But what about the price and potential resale value? Well, when I made this video, we do not have the exact prices for Otto Place yet, but I think it will be close with what you see for Novo Place. So it should still be one of the more affordable options among executive condos. But honestly, if you are hoping to flip your flat after 5 years, that might not be enough time for the area to really grow and become popular. It's hard to say how quickly Tengah will develop. Most of people interested in upgrading to an EC here will probably come from nearby HDB estates. By the time you could sell, Tengah could have about 30,000 potential upgraders. From Choa Chu Kang, probably more than 48,000. From Bukit Panjang, maybe about 35,000, and Bukit Batok another 40,000 potential upgraders. But remember, these numbers are just estimates, so the actual demand is still uncertain. Whether you are buying to live in or as an investment, it's probably best to think long term, not just for 5 years. Tengah is honestly still too new to predict with confidence. Other than that, remember that Novo Place EC is just next door, so you will have a lot of competition when selling. And the fact that there are so many BTOs in Tengah also becomes a limiting factor on how Otto Place EC resale price can go. We don't know what the economic situation will be 10 years from now. For families who are sensitive to price, they might choose to buy a newly MOP BTO flat instead of an EC. It's true that after 10 years, an EC becomes fully privatized and is considered a condo on paper. However, with the 60% ABSD for foreigners and Tengah is kinda remote, I don't think you can really count on foreigners as your potential buyers. How about school options? Families will find plenty schools nearby. Within 1 kilometer, there are several schools like Jurong Primary, Princess Elizabeth Primary, and Yuhua Primary. The area will also see the new Anglo-Chinese School Primary moving in by 2030, and there are 2 more primary schools planned to open in the next few years. For older students, there are secondary schools such as Bukit Batok Secondary, Jurong Field Secondary, Fuhua Secondary, and also Millennia Institute. Who are the developers, by the way? Well, interestingly, the developers are exactly the same ones as Novo Place, which is Hoi Hoop Realty and Sunway Developments. So Hoi Hoop Realty in particular has been around since 1983, so they have a strong track record in the property market. And Sunway Developments is a developer group from Malaysia and they have been around for 20 years. So both are quite experienced. Some of the past projects that these developers work on, for example, the Peak at Toa Payoh, City View at Boon Keng, Park Canberra EC, etc. So they are quite experienced. Now let's talk about the pros and cons. On the positive side, I like that this EC will be within walking distance to an MRT station, and I also like that the Tengah Park MRT station should be ready when you collect your keys. The government's commitment to build up Tengah is also comforting. Tengah is being designed as a green, nature-friendly town, and it could end up being as nice as Bukit Timah for nature lovers. Jurong Innovation District is also scheduled to be finished around 2027. If the plans go ahead as expected, it should be a great place for families with lots of parks and a focus on being car light. The government has already shown that it can develop areas quickly, such as what happened in Jurong and Punggol. If you think about how Punggol used to be, it was just an empty land with not much going on. Now, even though people still make jokes about it, the area has actually turned out to be quite nice. The main downside is that it's far from the city center, which is similar to Tengah. I think Tengah will probably follow a similar path. It might not seem like much now, but over time, it could become a really pleasant place to live. School options are available, and the government has committed to build more schools in the area, so that's good. The ACS primary is even moving to Tengah by 2030, so that shows how the government is committed to make this area family-friendly. The entry price of the flats is also a plus. Assuming the price will be along the same line with Otto Place EC, then Otto Place should still be one of the relatively affordable EC this year. And I would also categorize having experienced builders as a plus because this will increase the likelihood of a quality build. On the other hand, what are the cons? Well, the limited amenities are real. If you look at the bigger picture, Tengah is a very new area. And right now, there aren't many shops or things to do nearby. You will probably have to travel to other towns for shopping and entertainment, and that might happen for several more years. I don't know until when. I would say your profit is also somewhat limited for this project. Why? Because the number of competition when you want to sell your flat in the future is quite a lot. You have Otto Place EC just next door, which is only 1 year older, and then you have a bunch of young BTOs, probably even younger than Otto Place EC because the area is still developing. When you have a lot of supply in the area, it will be more difficult to drive the price up. Construction noises and dust also cannot be ignored since the area is still developing. There's a benefit to being one of the first to move in, but it also means you'll have to deal with these early inconveniences. In summary, is Otto Place worth considering? Well, if you like greenery, enjoy the west side of Singapore, and are patient, this could be a good way to get into the property market when it launches. But if you prefer the buzz of a busy area at night and don't like the idea of quiet evenings with just the sound of crickets, you might want to look elsewhere. This doesn't mean Otto Place is a bad choice. It's just more suitable for people who are happy to settle in for the long term. Since Otto Place is right in the center of Tengah neighborhood, there's a good chance it will go up in value over time. But again, this is really for people who are thinking beyond just 5 years. If you are interested in this project, here are some tentative key dates to take note of. If you like this type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!